Deep within the misty hills of County Offaly, Ireland, stands Leap Castle, a towering fortress built in the late 15th century by the ruthless O'Carroll clan on an ancient druidic site. Often hailed as the most haunted castle in the world, its stone walls have witnessed centuries of bloodshed, betrayal, and unspeakable torture. Ghosts still roam its halls today, and recent visitors swear they've felt the icy grip of the past. Buckle up as we dive into the true tales of Leap Castle. Our story begins in 1532, when the O'Carroll chieftain Mulrooney died, igniting a savage power struggle between his sons. In the castle's chapel, now forever known as the Bloody Chapel, priest Thaddeus O'Carroll was leading mass for his family. But his brother Taigje, consumed by greed and rage, burst in and drove a sword through Thaddeus's back right at the altar. Blood soaked the sacred stones as the priest slumped over, his dying eyes fixed on his betrayer. This fraternal massacre cursed the chapel, and to this day visitors report seeing a shadowy priest wandering there at dusk, his form flickering like a candle in the wind. The O'Carrolls' treachery didn't stop there. They were infamous for inviting rival clans to lavish feasts, only to poison their guests or hurl them into the oubliette, a hidden dungeon behind the chapel's altar. This forgetting place was a pit lined with wooden spikes, designed to impale the living and let them rot. When workers cleared it in the 1920s, they hauled out 3 cartloads of skeletons, over 150 souls, victims of torture and betrayal. Imagine the screams echoing through those walls as enemies were dropped into darkness, their bones crunching on the spikes below. One betrayed mercenary, hired to fight for the O'Carrolls, was rewarded with a dagger to the throat after victory, his body tossed into the abyss. As the centuries turned, the castle passed to the Darby family in the 17th century, but peace was fleeting. Mildred Darby, a Gothic novelist with a fascination for the occult, dabbled in black magic in the early 1900s. Her rituals are said to have awakened the elemental, a terrifying shape-shifting spirit that's pure evil incarnate. Described as a gaunt figure the size of a sheep with a rotting human-like face, black hollow eyes, and a stench of sulfur and decaying flesh, it lurks in the shadows. Mildred herself encountered it in 1900, feeling a cold hand on her shoulder before turning to face its horrifying gaze. Guests in 1915 fled in terror after smelling its foul odor and seeing its form slink through the halls. The elemental isn't just a legend. It's believed to be a guardian spirit twisted by the castle's violent energy, protecting or cursing the grounds. But the elemental isn't alone. The Red Lady haunts the castle, a tall, ethereal woman in a flowing red gown clutching a dagger raised high. Legend says she was captured by the O'Carrolls, assaulted and impregnated. When her baby was born, they murdered the infant before her eyes, driving her to take her own life. Now she wanders eternally, her cries echoing with grief and rage. Then there are the 2 little girls, Emily and Charlotte, seen playing in the main hall or tumbling down the spiral stairs. Emily, just 11, fell to her death from the battlements in the 1600s. Witnesses still see her plummet, vanishing before impact. Charlotte, with her deformed legs, drags herself along, calling out in playful innocence mixed with sorrow. Leap Castle's dark chapter continued into the 20th century. During the Irish Civil War in 1922, it was torched by unknown arsonists, leaving it a smoldering ruin. But in 1991, musician Sean Ryan bought the wreckage and restored it, turning it into his family home. Sean claims over 20 spirits reside there, and he lives in harmony with them, or so he says. In 2020, a visitor touring with Sean heard a disembodied voice interrupt their conversation in the main hall, clear as day, but no one was there. Sean brushed it off, but the chill lingered. Fast forward to 2023, paranormal investigators from around the world flocked to Leap, capturing EVP's electronic voice phenomena of whispers saying, "Get out," or anguished screams from the oubliette. In 2024, a guest felt an invisible hand tug their hair in the priest's house, where shadows of a burly man are seen pushing a phantom barrel up the stairs, only to let it crash down and vanish. And just this year, in 2025, during a late-night investigation, footage captured a door creaking open in an empty room, the air growing thick with tension. Visitors described sudden drops in temperature, the foul stench of the elemental wafting through corridors, and apparitions of the Red Lady gliding past windows. Sean Ryan himself has shared in interviews that the ghosts are active, with pictures flying off walls and lights flickering without cause. They have as much right to be here as I do, he says, but not everyone agrees. Some leave vowing never to return.